Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the next speedrun in this marathon. This is Bionicle: The Legend of Maranui. We are currently here playing in the main menu of the game, and we see that we only have Onua here. I'm gonna need to turn down the stream so I don't hear myself twice. And yeah. I'm hoping that everything is going through perfectly, and with that, I'll be closing the game and restarting it. Because this is not the menu we're actually starting from, this is the front end, as it's called. What I'm actually going through is going to be this debug screen right here, as I am showing now. In case any crashes happen, I will attempt to read out the address. Yeah. So that is also going to be a little bit weird. With that said, timing is going to start once I gain control of Onua after I hit enter on level 1. So I'll try to give a countdown. Timing is going to start in 3, 2, 1, now. So, this is Bionicle: The Legend of Maranui. The game was development started around spring of 2000 and ended on October 10th, 2001 officially. This build is, I think, from October 22nd or 23rd, I don't remember exactly.
But the real question is, who's commentating today?
Oh yeah, commentating today is me and Ash, the OSI wizard.
Yeah, I'm just the I'm just a local scripter that lives in the basement and just makes magic happen.
Yeah, literally has a patch named after her. So yeah, we have gone into the village now, and everyone was like kind of freaking out. I didn't, unfortunately, add in the estimate for cutscenes, so we will not be watching the cutscenes, except maybe the dances. So, but basically, the Matoran were kind of like all freaking out, like, oh, what is this? And then Nobua, whom we have met, said was like, oh, Onua has come to save us, so be not afraid.
And also, I'm still here just because.
Yeah, if you have any questions, then ask them here, or if chat has any questions, then you can relay them if I can't say them. Anyway, so this is rebuilt. We have an alpha build of the game and a beta build. This is mechanically the beta, which was, I think, again, October 22nd or October 23rd. I don't remember exactly. Ash, do you know? Happen to know?
This particular build, let me find the actual dates. Because I get them mixed up too.
I believe executable was compiled the 22nd, and then disk was burned the 23rd. And this Rahi is killing me, so yeah, this is the place where runs usually go to die, because we see that we have horrible Rahi AI, wacky ledge grab mechanics. If you ledge grab a corner, you might as well flip a coin. And yeah. And somehow I died, but managed to get the hook. Welcome, this is a Sapphire game. Enjoy.
Is that actually kind of good, though? Because, oh, I guess you need the...
No, and this is a 100% run, so I also need the pickaxe, and I also need the tokens, because I'm taking a bit of a novel route, so this is actually horrible, but I can use a grapple glitch here.
Yeah, the executable date is the 22nd of October 2001.
Yeah. And there we go. We have grabbed the miner's pick. So before we also like saved the village extremely quickly, and yeah, so we have an alpha build too, which contained a lot more content from like before the Maori lawsuit. So from the beta build to the alpha of like the Takara are gone, any mention of the word Tohunga is gone. And the Nobua cutscene, it existed in the code and everything, it just wasn't rigged up to play. Why so biased? Hello, Nulpo, finally managed to get in here. You missed a lot.
Which Nobua cutscene? Like the one where he introduces
both of them.
The village, or both of them?
Yeah, he was completely cut, and I think we asked, if I recall correctly, we asked Greg Farshti about the name before after like we found him, and he just said that the name never actually went through the legal checks.
So I assume that's that they probably then did go through the legal checks and they were like, no.
It's busy dying, don't worry about it. Alright, I guess, if you say so. Here we used the Mask of Strength to dig through walls, and I will say, the amount of bug reports we got from people before Onukoro being like, how do I get through this wall? It was so high, we literally put up a totem in there saying how to do it.
The infamous wall bug report. I believe we actually called it Update the Wall.
So here I also did a little bit of a slide where if you, in this patch, if you enter a level transition while you're in mid-air, you subvert a loss of control that is supposed to happen. Ash fixed that in the next patch after a lot of pain.
Yeah, that was kind of my baby. I figured out how to fix a lot of the movement post like transitions.
And now I'm gonna literally have to put my hand in a different, much worse position to do this trick. Basically, what I have to do is I have to do this. I call that a shot hop, so that I am walking in the air. And then I have to tap the pause button at like 10 times per second in order to actually be able to get enough distance to skip this bridge and skip an animation. And you also skip 3 tokens in there, which is the reason why I had to go for them in the room with the hook. So basically everything here influences everything. You have to make sure that you get enough tokens, because they open token doors, which are kind of like star doors in Mario 64. And yeah, here I use again this glitch where if you shoot a projectile at a grapple point and then you shoot your grapple, the grapple actually latches on with the projectile. I found out that it's because the function for, and this is another glitch, the function to check if the grapple has latched on to a point, if it has hit something, literally just calls the function if any projectile has hit something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and just another fun fact about the grapple. So when the grapple hook returns to the player, it resets the character into the idle animation, which is why the horns in Gakoro, which will be coming up eventually, were so broken.
I believe on this build I can skip them, but I'm unsure. I don't know. Here we will be doing... What? So here we'll be doing another grapple flight, and just pause buffering the way through. What was your question?
No, I was gonna say, is that why you when you do like the projectile grapple hook thing, is that why you just are standing instead of like flying towards it?
Not really. That is a slightly different thing. So this boss here is...
you said it resets you to the idle pose.
Yeah, but that is when the grapple returns to you as to your hand.
Okay.
Like if I do this and then have it return to me, and I wanted to show this off. I'll show off a different thing. This trigger here extends very far above this, or not very far, relatively. Actually, it's relatively. Actually, it's relatively close. I'll. You know what? Remind me after the run. Show that with Visual Debugger.
Okay.
How far does it go?
It's not very far. It's just a few units above the top of the cave. So this is really just a bit of a swag strat. It's like, yeah, this game is broken. Hello.
So it's not nearly as bad as the Lake Oro Shrine.
Nah. I think this patch still has that. I can show that off too. Yeah, I'm playing 1.0.2 because this it's a good patch. It has a lot of the things that still aren't fixed. Like I personally managed to fix the grapple flying by looking into the assembly code that the game is coded in. So yeah, shoutouts to the NSA for open sourcing and releasing Ghidra. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I think that's good. And this is slide spawning displacement.
That's wow.
So basically jumping and holding certain directional keys while sliding causes this when you either respawn, or if the slide ends in a level transition, it will apply this displacement to the next area that you spawn in, and it's beautiful.
I think some of that was mitigated. Not all of it. I think some of it was mitigated by what I did.
Also, shoutouts to
100%
this
sure.
water, which is anomalously bright and literally negates the having to use the mask of night vision in this.
It just has an unlit material. Oh, that's great. But yeah, you can't see my face right now, but I was just like, my mouth was open during that. I'll say, I was in awe of that. Wonderful.
That glitch took me a long time
trick.
to actually properly like reverse engineer why it's happening. I literally used like actual vector geometry and angles to properly figure out. If you have seen the videos of the game that came out in 2010, this you will know as the infamous area. This platform right here is where you would invariably die, because the kill box was a bit too high.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kill box itself was that was it. Just a wonky kill box. There's actually two of them.
I just love that the guy that was like playing it was like, oh man, I can't get past this area. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They literally like released one file, which was onua.blk, and all of their and some of their saves, which I then looked at. And I do remember that JMMB, who was like really instrumental in the effort to like make this game playable, like I think he made it workable on anything above Windows 7 or 8, I think. And he was able to somehow reverse engineer the entire BLK format just from that one file.
Oh yeah, I mean I know about the tools and stuff, but I came into that kind of like a while after.
Yeah,
it's incredible. It's I don't know. I remember when this first sort of like the first build was found, and it was so broken.
yeah.
I couldn't.
The alpha
could run it. It was great.
Yeah, the alpha was also extremely wonky. I will say, I believe the alpha, if it were completed, like with an actual like patch that makes it fully playable without cheats, I do think that I somehow overshot this. I do think that it would be a better speed game than the beta, because you have like the attack hopping and a lot more different movement tech. It would certainly be a whole other beast. Enjoy this, please.
I refuse.
Every single one of these dances represents a horrendous thing that just happened during the development of them that I had to deal with, and it's a reason why I partially never want to see them again. So basically, before, you would only ever see, like, you see how you see a very limited amount of Matoran at a time. In the alpha, and in the versions that came into the beta, the Matoran were literally scripted in their animations to teleport around, and there were only 4 Matoran in the entire scene.
And kind of smart for performance, but
yeah, it was done for performance reasons, but we were like, yeah, it's not 2001 anymore. Let's add in 16 of them. So we did. And Liam was literally sending me a model with like, I think no, I can't do the skip because this is a 100% run, and that includes Makoki Stone. There is a skip you can do here. It's easy. It got fixed. What I wanted to say is, yeah. So Liam sent me a model which was just the Takara stage with spheres on the points where he wanted Matoran. Then I had to edit the character SLB to add them in. Then I had to edit a lot of the camera SLB to actually get it to look properly, and in a lot of cases, yeah, this didn't work out perfectly on the first try. I remember the Gali dance was especially horrible because I would like at that time I would wake up every day thinking, this time I'm really gonna finish it, and I never did. Which is why, if you watch the rebuild trailer, there's footage of all the dances, but the one for Gali is exceptionally short. Because that's one of the few shots that was actually usable.
Well, I will say they do look really, really good now. At first, when you were saying that they represent like a horrible part in development, I thought, for some reason, I thought you meant like the devs at who originally made this
Sapphire.
game? Sapphire, yeah. I thought like something horrible happened to them, so they're like, let's make a dance about that.
No.
Like,
The dance is more or less, I think, adapted from like the traditional Maori haka, which could be one of the reasons why they were cut after the lawsuit. Or like after the controversy. I mean, they're literally called haka in certain parts of the code. Like the music, for instance.
Yeah, several of the areas in the script are just the areas themselves are referred to as haka with a number denoting which level it was. Then the others were simply referred to as mosh pits in the code.
And with this, we have beaten the great mighty Pooh, as Oni Fox says. I too have a dance party which represents a horrible part of development. Crash, please note down the address, 75B166D2.
Yeah, if you're playing with the debug server, it's going to spit out garbage addresses.
Alright, so that's the debug server address, got it. Okay, we are live on this again. This is a crash on level transition. Usually if I loaded the game right now, it would send me to the boss room. However, since crashes on level transitions are relatively common, it is allowed in the rule set to move to the next level, which is what I'm going to be doing. Hello and welcome to the next level. We have Onua. This was dumb. So I'm going to show this transition here. When Ash was working on the fades, we did not think that this transition here would have problems. It had problems. It caused Gali to respawn, and the cutscene broke. And that was another lesson of ours to test everything. Which, Ash knows, I don't test my tools.
The TLDR of what happened was those little screen wipes that you saw are actually calling respawn code. And because of some certain code because I was reworking the respawn system, I did not know that those were still calling the respawn code and like actually hard coded, because they're calling it directly. It's all hard coded the way the cutscenes work. They literally took the same code that's used for the screen wipes that's hard coded into respawns and reused it for cutscenes. So that's why in a lot of cutscene areas there's no respawn code.
Oh yeah, this area used to be playable, and then I found like 5 different ways to go out of bounds. So it was made no longer playable. And with this, we have completed our first quest.
completed the quest in Onu.
Yep. Oh yeah, I have to actually save a village, I forgot. Thankfully, I'm playing on an older patch. A newer patch also has, like, underwater invasions and underwater Rahi. And I just really don't like that, which is... it's slow, which is why I play on this one. Okay, so no, the horns are not skippable. And welcome to the actual introduction of the sliding minigame. We ended one of our scenes on Kopaka's end-level cutscene crashing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was...
Again, if you have,
also,
like, addresses of the crashes, then we can try running those and seeing what happens. Like,
oh, it was a long time ago, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm reading them out.
Ask,
yeah.
with this lighting, I guess maybe it's not super high priority, but have you not managed to figure out how to actually blend the animations?
There is very early code suggesting animation blending was a thing. I think in particular between the walking and the running animations, which suggests that, of course, they were planning console releases and different speeds depending on how much you hold the stick.
I mean,
But
that one in particular sticks out to me a lot because you go like back and forth, and it's just it snaps to either one. I guess
yeah,
mostly because it's controlled by the mouse, and it like
yeah.
it kind of
Yeah, unfortunately, animation blending, unless there's more there for it, it's not happening probably for a very long time. It's
you
just
have to like make
unfortunate.
your own custom blending system.
Pretty
Become
much.
when?
Oof.
God. Oh yeah, there's a small bug in here which is insanely annoying, which is why I should probably keep myself closer to shore. Because of incorrect calculations as to whether or not you are under the water or not, there is exactly one specific level of water where if the water is some amount of units above you or below you and the ground is some other amount of units below you, like some exact amounts, you will oscillate between being underwater and on the ground every frame. And in this version,
I
it
assume
soft
that.
locks you.
Oh, it just soft locks you. I assumed it would cause a crash because it probably does it so fast.
Not really. There's nothing really building up there. But
No?
what it
Mm.
could, it just doesn't kill you because you aren't underwater enough for it to kill you. But in rebuild with the rebuilt drowning system, it does actually very slowly kill you.
Oh.
I don't know why I have return gear immediately, but oh, I know. I remember. I remember. Also, I'm getting lag. Okay. Wow, game from 2001 is lagging. Yeah, so this is with the old drowning system. The new one was added in version 1.1, so just to throw that out there, this version is not really representative of the new work that we have done. Our work is better.
Yeah,
Hey, I just noticed. Think so. Yeah. A lot of like all the textures have filtering on them, like they have proper like bilinear or whatever. But for some reason, the caustics down there don't. They just have point filtering.
I think Ash would be able to explain that better. I have
Oh, maybe it's because
barely
it's
any idea.
animated.
yeah. So that's actually a series of like textures that I don't, and we haven't quite looked into that yet as far as like because that involves is like that's actually part of the physics engine too, which is
The
yeah.
caustics?
Yeah, it's buried inside of the physics engine.
Why would it be in the physics engine?
Sapphire.
It's
like a-
buried in the vicinity, so
Sapphire.
it's pretty
We
much Sapphire.
literally have an emote called Because Sapphire, and it's just like a crude drawing of the logo that we found in the art BLK. There's
Yeah, like all like that, like that low res look. That's also just a low res texture that they're using for that too.
Well,
here
I
is
mean,
another
obviously,
place where
but
this weird oscillation can happen. So,
oh,
speak
there
of
goes.
the actual literal devil.
Immediately.
Well, there it is.
I have to restart the entire game,
Awesome.
which means that load game. The reason why I have to actually reload the entire game is because for whatever reason this does not save a token collection. So I have to get them all over again, but if I were to just reload from the menu, I would only have like a smaller amount of tokens, but the tokens would not be here anymore to collect. So maybe that could be added to the bug tracker.
Probably. Was it? Did we incidentally fix that in the last build? I don't know if we actually did.
That might be. Oh yeah, also regarding that, I still really dislike the idea of having saves in a hard-coded location, especially in place like app data, because it would completely break compatibility with other operating systems.
I've brought that up before too.
Yeah,
That wasn't my call.
And it also, like, I really dislike that it's like no longer a portable program. But again, yeah, not really my call to make either.
So real quick, going back to the caustics, you're saying yeah, it's a low res texture, but a lot of the other bits are very low res textures, but they do have filtering on them though, so like they're not super pixelated. But for some reason, that specific one is just it just has point filtering. I don't know why.
Yeah, to be honest, to be honest, I don't know if they actually changed the caustics code at all from the alpha. To be entirely honest.
Probably
not. I guess that's something else to look into eventually. It's
The
just
store is 14 tokens, am I right? Yes, I am.
Yes.
Right, good. What do you mean you can't play Laman on OpenBSD? Don't worry, Nolpo. At some point you will. I will ensure that.
So does that mean I can't play Laman on my Steam Deck? Oh, actually,
not yet, but that is literally one of the reasons why we're looking into Linux compatibility. Basically, there is one issue that causes it to not run on the non-emulator Wine. And it's that Wine will die if it tries to load an object with more than max_children children, or in this case materials. And in this level specifically, in Gali's level, max children I think is at like 1024 or something on default Wine. And due to Sapphire's development pipeline, the amount of materials in a few models in Gali's level breaks this. It goes over this, and the check is actually made after the model is read in, so it's reading garbage data, which causes Wine to crash. And then JMMB tested that, found that max children on regular Windows is not actually that low, and published a bug report to Wine's bug tracker and didn't get a response, or got one response and then nothing. So I looked at Proton and at Valve's fork of Wine, and they still have it set up like that. But since I actually have a Linux machine now, what I'm thinking I could do is probably like place it on my computer and compile it from source. Try to run Laman, try to fix it, and try to run it then. And after that, what we could potentially do would be put it up on Steam, submit a bug report, and then since it breaks a game which is on Steam, and since it breaks Steam Deck compatibility, we might get Valve to pay attention.
Especially if you do it soon, yeah.
And especially if it's just fixing one single variable.
Hopefully it's that easy. Usually it's not that easy.
Yeah,
but
because I remember I asked a friend of mine whom I consider to be a Linux expert, and they said, like, yeah, Valve probably won't pay attention unless it breaks a Steam game. So basically we would make it their problem.
Yeah. That transition from that last slide to this, there's a lot of wonky stuff going on under the hood.
Oh yeah, these bubbles here are going to become a big problem soon, so I will be restarting the game.
I remember when they used to crash anytime you touched them.
Oh yeah, that was alpha.
Yeah, that was big. Yeah, so the funny thing about that alpha is the alpha script was calling the wrong thing. So they were calling... I guess they were doing I guess they were refactoring some of their code for the bubbles. I guess related to the player character specifically, and I guess they forgot something because they were referencing code that no longer existed, and the actual correct code is referenced by everybody but Gali. So,
Of course,
so,
the one character.
Okay, but so
I am restarting my game.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So, Footless asks if Lawman can legally be put on Steam, which I don't... I mean, if Masks of Power can be put on Steam, I don't see why Lawman can't. Because, yeah, it is a
There's a lot
formerly
more.
licensed title, but, like, LEGO has acknowledged it in one hidden side set. Thank you, LEGO. And the company that would have developed it, that would probably have the biggest right to go ahead and sue us, doesn't exist anymore. And I don't think Hal would be able to really go after us with his tubes and such. I have to make that reference, sorry.
So,
Also, this area is horrible and I hate it. You have to kill these
yeah,
sharks,
I
and they
agree.
generate a lot of particles, and the bubbles generate a lot of particles. So if you kill many if you do many things at once, or if you exist at the wrong place, the game will randomly decide that it wants to kill itself. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, that I was gonna say that it is a little bit more risky than Mass Power because it is it has you know, you didn't make it, so you guys didn't make it, so it's a little, oh dear.
This is another reason why the
that's it.
fades were fixed.
Oh.
I can literally jump out of bounds and no!
Oh no.
This is fixable.
Okay. But yeah, I was gonna say it would be a little bit more legally complicated, but granted they are defunct, so I don't know. Maybe if you get if you somehow manage to talk the actual legal team of LEGO, which
I think they would have to be cornered into saying no if we did talk to them. But they might leave it alone if we don't. I don't know exactly.
I feel like it would be better to like check with them first because I feel like, oh god, the flashing, I forgot about this level with the flashing. I feel like they might have more of an issue with it if you just put it up on Steam one day and they're like, wait, hang on a second. You know?
Ash, mind telling me why the drowning text might be staying on screen?
Oh yeah. So the old the old drowning system uses text, and text has a notorious problem of sometimes not getting cleared off the screen.
Also, where is Kevin? Do we see him? We do not see him. Okay. We shall be in
Kevin's
peace.
the name of the fish?
Yes. Let's do this, please. I think I saw him. He's coming for us. And we escaped. That's Gali's tsunami glyph, and this is like an oversight with Gali's swimming animation versus the swimming while shooting animation.
Something that I never want you guys to change ever is please never remove the Doppler on the shooting sound effect. It is the funniest thing in this entire game.
What do you mean, Doppler?
So you know, like when a car goes by really fast.
Yeah, I know. I know
you know,
Doppler effect. Yeah, red shift, blue shift. Yes, I know astronomy too.
Well, yeah, but just for anybody who doesn't know, yeah, the shooting sound effect has it on there. So if you whip around really quickly while you're shooting it, or if if the camera's going nuts and you're shooting, then it'll just go wee, 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 which is hilarious.
Yeah, there's also another funny way to hear it is if you use the debug camera and move yourself away and towards yourself as you fire, you can get a different type of effect with it.
Alright, so we are about to do this, and last year, I remember I did not actually do this dance, which made the run invalid. So let's redeem ourselves this year, and I hope I have the correct sequence. I do.
Well, good thing nobody saw that, so we're good. There's no record of this.
There is record of me doing the dance later as redemption.
Also, I assume, given Sapphire, it's probably hard-coded, but why do you have to do those guys in an order?
It's
Again,
weird.
it's
There is like a file called Haka sequence, and I don't think we've been able to properly find what it means.
Yeah, so the way they had it set up in the alpha for the dancers is they actually had a
Also, shoutouts to Solo Dancer.
Oh yeah, I love this one because of Mako's thing. Yeah, you're saying?
Yeah, you were saying?
Yeah, it's they had a sort of like rudimentary animation blending set up for the dancers in the alpha. So it's actually a series of animations being played. It's not one animation.
Oh,
and that particular file seemed to regulate it, but we couldn't figure out exactly how. And there seems to be an alternate unused version of it. So there's a lot of question marks around it, and the fact that they kind of did away with those functions in the beta. All the functions related to it no longer exist in the code, unfortunately.
But I was talking about like
I am restarting my game again. I will be going for a notoriously difficult strat. I call it Reskill in honor of fellow playtester at Lightstone, Reese, who discovered it and shared it with me. It is horrible to do. It has a potential to crash your game, or to just do very weird effects to it. So, yeah.
Yeah, so no, I was saying, like, why do you have to talk to the guys to get the actual, sequence?
The reason I was talking about the animations first is it also circles back into the fact that the way the game handles that is it stores information in bit flags. So the way the conversations are set up, they have like a series of branches that are determined by different
this
bit
is
flags being
not
set
going to be
by
possible.
other conversations.
Okay, so I deleted the health bar, but the boss still existed, so...
So the main the main thing with that is it's unfortunately complicated and hard coded to the point as far as conversations themselves go that we can only really have one order to them. As of right now, there's a convoluted way to possibly make multiple orders possible, but it's just going to be extremely complicated to do it because we're working with a very limited system that was kind of only set up for like one branch at a time type deal.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's
so it has to work in one direction.
Like, it's like if you had full control, or if you had the source code or whatever, it would be very easy.
If we had the source code, we could do so much more.
Yeah, and like it would be very easy to make a system like that because all you'd have to do is check if the player has all of the ones or not, you know.
Yeah.
And just add an additional one. But with it being hard coded like that, it's just really strange. And you know, obviously, it would be very difficult to add a way to do that.
Yeah.
And now, so we ended up figuring out that there was a secondary issue to this because of the way conversation branching works. You can't have. We were running into a situation with the dances is that there's a way you can actually skip certain conversations with the Turaga, which doesn't set certain flags that need to be set. So we had to create a catch for that. It's like kind of a little case. So
that dude was going nuts.
Yeah, if you kill a hive, but don't damage any of the Rahi that come out of it, sometimes they will do that. sometimes they'll like run away from you and spin, and then they'll go up against the wall and spin, and the faster you shoot at them, or the closer you get to them, the faster they'll spin. And I hope that this bat here won't just completely fuck off after I hit it once. Good, 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 we're good, we're good. Bats are the worst.
He was just trying to tail whip you. His little stinger tail. I never want that to be fixed.
I don't even know how we would start with that.
Just don't bother. It's good.
Like, yeah. Anyway, also what I wanted to say, one of my very long-standing dreams has been to actually like go ahead and fully decompile the game and actually like do things like open source the engine or and things like that. I do think that, you know, when they say Sapphire Advanced Game Engine, I don't think they were kidding. Like, this doesn't seem too bad for 2001 standards to me.
Yeah, like the underlying engine is extremely solid. The game code layered on top of it is where the problems start to arise.
Yeah. And like also like if we had that source code, then we could do literally anything.
Well, I'm sure if it was developed by the same people, then there's a lot of really weird stuff going on in there.
Also, I am going to do a skip, which Ash took a long time to fix, and then I found that, yeah. So this door is made up of two parts, as you saw it close, and turns out, if I do this correctly, which I have a lot of tries for this. There we go. You can ledge grab on the bottom half, get inside of the top half, and clip out onto this stage. Usually there would be these thingies, like the boulders going down, and you have to defend the bridge. But you don't have to do that now. So now I get to, first of all, crack open another cold one. So again, as I did with the Heroes Run, I'm putting it close to the mic. There we go. And the second thing that I get to do is solve this Rubik's Cube, but I think I'm late on it already. So it would be this edge goes here, and I'm late indeed.
Couldn't you just ledge grab one of those? Like you did the day before?
Not really possible, because they're very, 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 very slowly moving down. And so I think it's that your feet intersect the floor, and the game snaps you up to the floor and cancels your ledge grab.
Ah, right, yeah.
Also, because of complications related to the move list SLB, which handles like the different animations of Toa and how it works. I believe it's because of the move list. You can't do this in the next level's equivalent of this area. I am dumb, I am dumb, I am dumb. I am
You went the wrong way.
No, I didn't go the wrong way. I forgot this was a Hondo run. Hello.
Oh, yeah, you didn't pick that up. I saw it, but I forgot this was 100%.
Oh, God. This is why I shouldn't be doing this on, like, insane amounts of things, of time awake and everything. No, it's all fine. Also, by pause buffering, you get some of these rocks to disappear. I believe it has something to do with splines. I don't know. Are these rocks controlled by splines?
They're controlled by a separate text file. They're kind of mostly scripted.
Alright. So, just like the text file in Tahoe.
No text file. Well, actually, yeah, it's like a weird hybrid. Right. They were using a text file when they went to script, and it's like a weird abomination.
Mini cutscene time.
Also, as a little side note, the HUD being on during the intros is fixed in the current build.
Yay. Because that incorrectly counts towards game time, unfortunately, so... yeah. And we are now picking up the Komao. I have to be careful, because if I skip the cutscene on the first frame, it's going to crash the game. Due to some things related to removing the HUD. I guess it's trying to remove the HUD while it's already removed. And also if I spam, I can like get the pause screen to appear on my screen with no way to get it back out. Welcome to the bull ride. This is dumb.
I'm excited to see how this part can be speed ran, because the
Well, there is copious
we-
amounts of pause buffering being done, as you can see. This
true
easy
yeah.
skip, yeah. Very often you have these tight turns followed by precise jumps. Yeah, we don't do that here. Insert a meme.
This one easy skip can
It-
help you through this entire section.
Lightstone hates them. See how they skipped half of the game with this one trick. I do have some slight inklings of ideas for why this could be, but I don't think I know how I would actually go about fixing it. I would have to take a deep dive into the code, which I've been meaning to do for a very long time. But yeah, it's not really experienced enough yet.
When is the Legacy source code going to be released? I tried giving it to Exelon, and his computer couldn't run it. So
Ouch.
yeah,
You're gonna have to like set up a build environment that properly works, but then I think like putting it up on GitHub wouldn't be like too bad.
I mean, I could put out just the code, I guess, but like, if you want to actually build it, don't you technically need the assets as well?
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
the total like actual project file size is like 30 gig,
oh yeah,
which is not bad actually. But once you
yeah, I understand. Yeah, this game's executable is 6 megabytes, and that's with like a lot of debug symbols and such.
Yeah, but before I deleted all the temporary stuff from the project, it was like 60 gig.
Man.
So, yeah.
Yeah, this water had an issue where Ash erroneously added in the water collision model, the BCL, and it just made you respawn whilst the game still thought that you were in the water. So this upcoming section was nearly impossible to complete. There's also a bit of an exploit here where if you hug the wall, you have reduced gravity. So I have to make sure not to do so that I don't get stuck up there.
Oh, I see that, yeah. So you're kind of like riding up the wall almost.
Yeah. Yeah, what were you saying, Ash?
I did find out that what was going on with the water was actually just a respawn issue, and what I was doing with my respawn code system incidentally fixed that.
I guess we could add it back in. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to I added it back in when I was testing to see what the result would be, and sure enough.
Yep. We have now picked up the Mask of Speed.
Just release everything plus documentation. You think there's any documentation on Legacy? I laugh at you. It's my sir, or madam. Yeah, I could, but again, like 60 gig, and I have no place to put that for you to download.
Mega.
But if there is more than 2 people interested, then maybe I will. Maybe I'll actually try. Because before I was just like, oh, I'll just like give it to Exelon because he's the only one that actually is interested. But if there's actually other people interested, then maybe.
Well, you know what they say. Never underestimate the power of a train wagon full of hard drives that's running down rails. I think literally the best way you could... Literally, the best way you could give it to someone would be if you say, like, yeah, mail me a USB with enough capacity, and I'll put it up there and mail it back to you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for real, that would be the easiest way to do it.
Also, I just found out that, yeah, we don't technically have to do Husi skip, so I'll just not do it, because we have to collect this. And yes, we can collect it if we do Husi skip, but I'm really not in the mood to do Husi skip, I'm sorry.
Is he still running while you're doing that?
Yes, I believe so.
Incredible. Uh-oh.
Unfortunately...
Oh yeah, hole.
Unfortunately, the...
I lost.
How?
He was running.
Yeah, while you were doing the thing, I didn't see him run past though.
Yeah, sometimes he can. So when the game pauses, or when when the game's processing system puts a pause on everything, like which includes while you collect an item,
Let's
enemies
go.
on
Hootsie skip.
lines just kind of break.
Awesome.
So he just kind of probably teleported around on the spline a bit. Splines, unfortunately, are like I looked into the function for splines before. There's code like half some of the variables in there aren't even used. Like some so like a couple of the variables that the script says that
Oh yeah,
can
also
be
here
used
you
in
would have
the
to like
function
use
are
the
just blank.
grapple to hit a bunch of buttons and make a bridge fall down, but you can just use a sped up Kakama jump, Lumfao.
Shout out to the vertex coloring on the glyph.
And
Oh.
we are going outside here and gonna talk to Onua. Thank you. And he opens up the portal. Yeah, these portals didn't exist in the alpha. I have, which was horrible because the game would crash on seemingly like every third or every second backtrack.
Yeah, Kopaka's level was the worst for that.
Yeah, I mean,
And
even
it
in the
was
beta,
thanks to
it's still like a very different experience from every other level, I would say. We will see shortly.
yeah. It's not the most stable.
We don't even mean in terms of stability, I just mean also in terms of like linear versus non-linear.
And that's something that I missed from the alpha because the alpha had a lot of non-linearity to it. That like they were really trying to go for that Metroidvania feel,
Yeah.
and they just kind of abbreviated it. It's just something really linear and bland because they just because with Lego losing the lawsuit, they had to cut a bunch of stuff. They just ran out of time.
Yeah.
In my opinion, really the Metroidvania is kind of the best fitting sort of way to go about making a BIONIthon game because it just fits so well. Because you got the mask powers, and they collect the mask powers throughout the story, and then it's like, oh,
exactly.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that cutscene right there, I think that gets like within 100th of a unit of clipping through this floor. Or something I don't know if it's 100th or if it's like a 10th of a unit. It's insanely small though. For reference, the Toa are I think like 5 units tall.
I don't know why he's got slow-mo in that one. I think my favorite one's the Gali one with the solo dancer. Just because it's so unique from like the rest of them. I mean, Bohachu's got slow-mo, but come on.
Oh yeah, we have this level. This level can be skipped. Oh yeah, you saw the Gali hook, that is a thing. If you transition through a level, you keep the hook of the last Toa that you had. So that's a bit funny.
Yeah, that's something we still haven't been able to fix.
Imagine if LEGO gave this game the budget and time it needed. Oh god, that would be awesome. Like, there are sounds in this game that suggest that there was meant to be a unique sound for picking up every single item. Also, letting yourself get hit here actually makes the boulders split into more rocks, so it's literally faster to just intentionally take damage. The hook here also does a thing where, if you do the... where if you, put it in there, it kind of stays inside, and so it immediately damages at frame 1. And,
yeah, I heard about that one.
Yeah, so the hook kind of saves its position in a weird way. But I cannot do it on the last hit, because then the health will go down to 0, but the game will continue.
Oh yeah, like you had with the Hydra boss, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy was... unironically, he was the most functional of the bosses
in the
in
alpha.
in the alpha,
And
and the
then-
most broken in the beta.
Yeah. So first we thought that shooting him just instantly crashed your game, but turns out that that was actually that for every frame that a shot of him was that a shot of you was inside of him, it did 1 point of damage. So I literally had an angle set up to do so it would be for exactly 5 frames, and then when it did that, it would just die instantly. Ah yes, my favorite ultra kill boss, the funny rockman. Ah yeah, it's the insurrectionist. Or whatever.
Goodbye, Thardus.
Or no, not the funny rock. The thing, you have Uno guy. Another Crash 7.5, B166D2.
Probably the same thing.
Yeah, probably the same. Right. We are. This is another level transition crash, so we are allowed to do the thing. So here, this, yeah, the cutscene here, it was rigged up, it was not properly, like, set up, and Ash managed to get it working. I still remember the day that she sent the screenshot, which was just Pohatu giving his mask, and we all collectively went insane.
I just simply posted it, and I was like, hey, what's up?
Yep. And then the meme of sup fuckers became a thing.
Yep.
Also, this level, I used to first, like, go up this wall and then up over there, but turns out you can just jump up like this. After this was discovered, invisible walls were added all over this place. Like, they really just, like, the team really just went, it's morbing time, and morbed all over this level. We have a crash at 1001 D6 D3, which is the marble crash.
Oh, that's fun.
Shoutouts and rest in peace go out soon. I love how Toas sound like their element when they talk. Kopaka sounds like ice freezing over. A lot of people criticized Kopaka's voice as annoying. Shoutouts to Tree Stairs and rest in peace. They were fixed.
Yeah.
It's even funnier when you watch them on Torrent doing it.
It is quite a harsh voice, but I do like it. It's unique. And
Like
also,
it fits him.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. Going back a little bit, Milkblade said, it's my favorite Ultra Kill boss, the funny rock man.
Yes, post this rock to... Oh yeah, it's the malicious face, of course, that's the funny rock. I forget. This is the one big non-linear segment in the game.
Isn't that like the first boss in the game?
Wait,
This game.
in Ultra Kill? Yes, the funny rock man is the first boss. I have to actually backtrack because I forgot that this is a 100% run. How did I still gold this?
I feel like we're gonna get a little bit over the estimated time, given the fact that we keep forgetting that it's 100% run.
I guess if I start skipping dances, I'll probably make up for it. I've had my time. I set my time to be extremely generous. Yeah. I didn't put myself on a strict estimate because I knew that I wasn't gonna hold myself to it. Oh yeah, here we get the hook. So I reload to reset my health and energy because this game was coded very well and just doesn't save that in your save file.
Well, to be fair, Legacy doesn't really save it very well either. Like, if you switch... Well, it does now a bit more than it did before, because before, if you just switch Toa, they just instantly have all health and stamina back. But...
Right.
Oh, that happens in this game, too.
Oh, yeah. But it's...
What was your
it's
final
a little
time
bit
for
better than it
heroes? I
was.
believe 340 and something. I would have to check again. Right, so now we get to do this. Hello and welcome. This is Slide, spawning displacement. Again, because we already saw it in Kopaka's, or no, in Onua's level. This is the place where this is not the place, this is the level where I initially discovered it. and the one where
do
I
like
know
this,
the most of its uses.
I do like at least Kopaka's sliding levels are
Yeah.
pretty neat. I mean,
All the-
Onua's one is
yeah.
awesome too because he's just a ball, but yeah.
Yeah, those were cut or unused animations that we found from a maze level where you like are supposed to like roll into an entrance, I believe. Oh god, I have to get back in bounds. I am a god at this game.
Well done. But yeah.
Yeah. And that level was actually in Liwa's level at first, and we literally added all the walls and all the ceilings ourselves.
Really? Huh. So it's just kind of stitched together.
Yeah. I haven't managed to get through the entire game because it always crashes so much for me, but I like Onua's a lot. Gali's is cool too. I love Onua saying, "Where would you draw?" and a slight chain rattle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Those are the classics.
Bye, Kapura. Bye, Kapura.
Draw.
Yeah. Also, a fun fact: later we plan a Nobua mode for the game. I actually voiced Nobua.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You say, "Where would you draw?"
No.
Classic line from Legend of Matanui.
I was literally, I think, given like a paragraph of Fijian text to just read, and I did it.
Cool.
This is the place where I initially... And you see how the loading takes longer and longer as I quit? Yeah. Memory leak. I also enjoy moonwalking Kopaka.
I like that this level starts and it looks identical to the previous one, and then it's like just slightly different.
Yeah. Wait, pausing gives you momentum very slightly, yeah.
They just simply copy pasted a bunch of these snowboard areas, to be honest.
Oh, the later one with like all the huge drops is pretty cool, but this one's just identical to the previous.
Yeah,
but with
these
big
things just
glass
actually
sheets.
like fly into a billion pieces. It's funny.
Yeah.
And they're using the wrong texture, too.
Oh my god, please snap me to the floor. Okay.
I wonder if there's like planned to be a mechanic for that, or like slow you down or stun you.
Hello. We are now out of bounds, right next to the ending trigger where we're supposed to go. Hello. Yeah, this is... And now we are going to do this glitch, which has been agreed to not be patched because we don't even know how that would start. Flight. On a mechanical level, if you've played Super Mario 64 or if you watched a speedrun of it, think bloated bob-omb glitch.
Also, by the way, those boxes. Okay, I'm not even gonna ask how that happened. Those boxes. I don't know if anybody here has played TOGS, Trials of the Great Spirit.
I
Do I need
haven't,
to explain what
unfortunately.
that is? No. Oh, okay. Well, it was Team Kanohi a while back, like a few years ago, put out sort of an alpha preview of the mechanics of 2.0, and it's very outdated now. But at the time, it was essentially what.
Oh
we were
my
thinking
god,
about.
I got scattered in just the wrong way.
But yeah, it was just like a alpha, the little demo of where we were thinking of going with the mechanics, and somehow, so we had concept art for like boxes to move with the Mahiki and the Kari and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and they're in the game, but some like the concept art for them, I directly transferred it to the box because we were running out of time and stuff. But it just so happened that the artist who made those accidentally made the exact same boxes as the ones in here.
lol.
They're the same. They're identical.
What I wanted to say here was there is a much more complicated slide spawning displacement here that sends you like right to the end, but it requires debug information, which the jury's still out if that would be allowed in runs or not. And also it wouldn't be applicable here because this is not a 100% run. I am going to Alt-Tab here. The game is paused, but believe me that I'm still here, and I'm just going to try solving this Rubik's Cube. If by the time I'm back the door hasn't opened, then I know that I have to actually beat it. Let me do this, and then I don't know if you can hear me solving it, and it's solved, and let's see the door. It has opened a tiny little bit. Yeah, so when you're alt-tabbed, the game kind of treats itself as if it was paused, and also kind of doesn't. So then that kind of thing can happen.
Because I think at the time when they made this, alt-tabbing didn't really exist.
No, 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 please! I am... Okay, good.
Yeah, so fun fact about the alt tabbing glitch. So basically, if you alt tab while the game is unpaused, the game auto pauses. If you pause the game and alt tab, the game unpauses.
Yep.
The function for that was hard coded was a simple toggle. There was no logic to be able to tell it, hey, the game's already paused. Don't toggle it back again, which will set it back off.
Oh yeah, here I bumped into an invisible block. This is what the level actually looks like.
I'm glad at least it doesn't crash now. When you fall down there, because it used to crash when you fell in that bit.
Also, this is like the place or the time in the level where ledge grabbing becomes horrible. Like, also this is something I call this the path wall run, but I forgot that this thing exists.
Forward.
Like, but in the previous area on those platforms, if you ledge grabbed a corner, you were dead. And that trend is going to continue for the rest of the game. Also, there are some tokens out of bounds, like in that direction, because this used to be a much larger area. If I finish with an estimate, I'll show off some things.
Yeah, I think when we get to this level eventually, I think we're looking at maybe expanding it back out that way again, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Also, fun thing about the portals in the current rebuilt version, the
Model crash again.
The portals are much nicer now. Like the portals are much nicer. There's an actual there's an actual fade out and particle effect now, and it goes in tune with the with all that trigger work I did, because there's actually tiny trigger plates there. Oh, goodbye.
I hit it. No, don't you dare. Don't you dare to drop out of bounds. Die. Yeah, so there's also a nice trade-off in this. You can kill them with melee, and you can kill them very fast. Like, it bypasses the invincibility frames they usually have, but then they don't drop anything.
I love Kapaka's, like, freeze. It's awesome.
Do I... Oh my god, please. Oh my god, I didn't kill the hive. Please, kill the... I hate you. I hate you so much. I should apply for Face Clan. A model crash again.
Does FaZe Clan accept Bionicle speedrunners? They should.
Alright, now time for return. There we go. I literally forgot. I forgot the Haka sequence. That's gonna be dumb. But yeah. Oh yeah, this level actually was planned to get a rework, but that was put on the back burner, and so the dance from the old times when we were like working on this was added back. Okay, this, I believe I got the correct one in the sequence. I am probably gonna need help. I wish you luck. I need... Motoro is cool. Good. Right.
I don't know if it's just me, but I always found this so weird because it's like can't see
Oh god,
Kopaka
that's
doing
an
this.
out of bounds pan. Okay. Ash, remind me in the private dev chat. Thank you.
I will remind you about that one.
Because I am cinematic camera guy. Said in the same tone as TF2 Heavy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just always found it a little strange having Kopaka do a dance because it's like that doesn't seem like him.
I'll say
to me.
shoutouts to the animations in this game. They're actually really cool and give the Toa a lot of personality. Like how Kopaka skates
Yeah,
everywhere, Gali like rolls around, Pohatu rolls around and flips, and you will see Tahu. There was a funny meme
Let's
with
not
him.
forget about the best animations there that we can't show on stream.
I'm fairly sure we could. Footloose and Andre, do I have permission to show off bad cheat? Oh my god, I accidentally did a slide spawning in the space. Okay, crash address 004152DF.
What is bad cheese?
You might be able to see.
I'm familiar with.
Well, you might have to explain what that is, because all in chat. Because
rude animations. That's the best explanation.
very.
Yeah, go for it.
Basically, Sapphire had some fun with the game. You could
Yeah,
show us the Tahu one? Yeah, I could. I mean, it all depends on...
Does Kopaka have one?
No. The only ones that do are... Hello, who just joined?
It breaks TOS.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
seriously?
Well, I mean,
Okay.
I could see Pohatu's breaking it.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it for safety.
Yeah, that's the one
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about.
That's
Yeah.
what I was saying. Like, yeah, we can't show those.
I mean, I think Onua's is probably Twitch safest.
What does he do again?
Okay, I go again.
Alright, see ya. So unfortunately, we do not have permission to show them off. But yeah, during the ARG that Ash and Liam and the other devs did in preparing for the release of the beta, that was the funniest thing. Because they were like, oh my god, this dude is injecting custom animations. Look at how miles ahead of our dev team he is. And me and the other people were just breaking our heads trying to decode all the damn ciphers.
I don't know if I was part of the original. Like, I don't know if I was part of the beta one, but I do think I was part of the original like alpha one. Who's the other one?
T-pose, yeah, Nolpo says T-pose. Yeah, the boss of freaking Kopaka's level, just like his animation just snaps to T-pose rotating in like immediately. There's no blending at all.
Which is an incredible styling on the Toa.
Yep.
It's like if you get killed by that, you're like, oh man.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
assert
it's
your
just
dominance.
somehow.
Yeah. It's just like I can't go on with my life now. I've been killed by a T-pose.
Oh yeah, this is the part where ledge grabbing becomes extremely scuffed. Hello, I just ledge grabbed on nothing. Case in point.
Yeah. Ledge grabbing just goes to die here.
It's already kind of,
that.
yeah. Like, in Kopaka's level, it was kind of put into a vegetative state, and now the plug has definitively been pulled.
Pretty much. All lines. Our favorite.
Okay, well, it seems that... If I manage... Okay, I got to this platform, so now we can... Okay, thankfully I still ledge grabbed. Bam! Yeah,
I remember
the fewer we can use
Sorry.
vines, the better.
I remember when even touching a single one of those would crash the game. Good times. Fond memories.
Yeah, we avoid them as much as possible here. Also, this Matron here was frozen because of me. Because once I literally managed to jump all the way over, and the Matron happened to line up so that I was between them and the wall, and he literally pushed me through the wall and I died. So I was like, can you please freeze this guy? Thank you. Okay. Oh my god, please just... actually
That
die.
got a rocket engine.
Yeah, I have to wait for him to come back, basically.
I was just saying because the sound. I don't know if you heard
Thank you.
There it is.
Also, yeah, it gives him insane upwards momentum if you just hit him with the melee of Liwa. Hitting him with the axe.
Same thing happens if you kick them as a Fahatu. Remember that time on stream we said that poor Kofo jog in his face.
And yeah, we did this. Yeah, you can literally just go on out of bounds. This is the same as before in Pohatu's level. Thank you, brain. And here you're usually supposed to use the Mask of Illusions, but you can literally just speed your way through it. I think some safeguards are meant to be in place to prevent this, or like are planned to be put in place to prevent this. There we go, the Miru, and yeah, so this is a very weird route that I'm taking, simply because I can. And, okay. Yeah, here we have our introduction to these air vents, and they are fine, I guess. Like, they're not really egregiously offensively bad, unlike vines.
They could use more oomph to them.
Definitely. This is insanely slow. Like, I'm literally moving at, hold on, 5 units per second.
Yeah, I think we'll probably be looking at making those a little bit more powerful at some point, but it just depends on how much. Because the main issue with the later levels is there's so much that needs to be touched up on. It's like, do
Yeah.
we tweak something now, but then are we just going to end up removing that later kind of deal?
Right. God, everything. Okay. So yeah, we're just slowly continuing to go through all of this, and here we're supposed to go all the way up there, but yeah, unfortunately there is no faster way. I know that there was once a way to that I once managed to trigger an extremely elusive glitch in the alpha, which just like literally boosted me up by a massive amount into the air. I only did it once. I think I have video of it, but I haven't been able to replicate it in the alpha or in the beta, not for lack of trying. The next level has an extremely unfortunate glitch. I think, yeah, what I found was that you can ledge grab on this, I believe, but it just immediately snaps you back. Does a Miru animation in the bottom corner not complete fully? No, it should. All of the animations should be complete, unless they aren't. In which case we might be able to do something about it, but
we actually we ended up actually replacing those animations either in the last patch or I believe in our current patch. So if there was an issue, it's gone. And it should be gone now.
Wasn't that using our masks as well?
I believe it. I believe it might have been, or
at least as one of our team members did the renders. I know that much.
And yeah, so now we have this. Now we get to talk to meta, and then we go through the portal again. And we are going to do a few things in here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do an interesting thing here. Because I don't really want to restart the game, since at this point the memory leak has likely progressed to a very high degree. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna do the intended way. There we go, and there we go. So
Yeah,
this
what we ended up
used to
doing
be
is
quest rewards.
Yeah,
Take it away.
we changed it. We changed it to be the Amanavolo, and then we gave the little quest like particle like we'll pick up shower to the tree keepers.
I forgot to pick up the disc in my splits, because that's what my splits say, and I do as they guide. Here's the disc. This is one of the dumbest quests. The person who wants the disc is literally like right up that place again. Come on, can I snap up? Thank you. Can I snap up again? Thank you. Oh my god, okay. File that in the thingy. Unfile that too if you're able. Ledge grabbing is weird in this game. I ledge grabbed through a floor, and then I ledge grabbed through a wall.
I mean, you were saying
Yeah.
that this is the level that ledge grabbing goes to die. So
Yeah.
it has
Yeah.
been officially murdered.
Yeah, it's just been. It was killed, and then it was just buried.
Yep.
Then stomped off for good measure by the level design.
Did you not pick up the book? Isn't there a spider you're supposed to?
Yeah, but I do it after this one.
Ah,
Here,
gotcha.
when we go up. Can I exist? Thank you.
There we go.
The hitbox for these pickups is actually really weird. It's a box of fluctuating size, which I believe might be because of the square in square phenomenon, that like the box has to be axis aligned or something. And yeah, and now we drop down, and we drop right on the spider, and we pick him up.
I said beautiful. I don't know if my mic actually picked that up.
Maybe, I don't remember.
Well, either way, very nice.
Alright, so now we return the disc, which is obviously going to be trivial. Yeah, it's right here. I think he has a line which is like, oh, it was right there, my eyesight must be going. Then we drop down here, and we return this. And I think I know, yeah, the last one is at the entrance. Yeah, here's the other one.
Yeah, and like the squishy footstep sound, that is unfortunately hellishly complicated and not going to be fixed probably until we are like actually done doing all of our final work on the game, because it's that bad, or we find another way to fix it.
I assumed that was just because it was like the default step sound and they didn't like.
No, it has
Yeah,
to do with
so-
material order, if I recall correctly.
Yes, basically the way they set it up is that they had a binary file keep track of. Basically, they hard coded certain sounds in the sound table to basically be the footstep sounds that a material SLB for a level points to, using a bunch of different and basically the material SLB acts like a list of all of the possible materials in the level that need a footstep sound. Anything else gets a defaulted squish sound. The problem is because as we change models around, like the original material order gets broken, because like what Sapphire did is they basically took all of the textures in a level and just simply appended that to the materials in a model. So every model has more materials / textures than are actually
Let
present
me
in it.
see. Oh, I need 25 tokens to open this door. Yeah, I'll see what I think about that.
I love
That's
how
how
everybody
low
in-
the trigger goes. Also, yeah, I love chat lighting up with dance emotes.
everybody in chat is just like dancing while we're talking about material tables and material detection sound.
Yeah,
Say hello
but
to
it's
Dave.
Uh-oh. Dave Newey.
this guy T-posed in the alpha in his intro animation.
This boss used to be horrible to beat because this game was not made to be played at 60 FPS. So it was just said like, oh, okay, so at 60 he was nearly unescapable. I literally used the frame limiter, had it running next to my thing so that I would have it locked at 30. But then JMMB, thankfully, just managed to somehow get it fixed in like such a way that it was done at 30. It was doable at 30. But yeah, that water, that just instantly kills you. This game was
Yeah,
not made to be
basically
played by humans, says Nulpo, I guess.
Yeah, so the one of the issues was that there was a floating point calculation going on with the toe position, and on 60 FPS that calculation breaks down entirely. Basically, floating point error. It's,
I find that very
it's just not
interesting,
good.
since I don't think we're far enough in anywhere to actually like accrue that much floating point error. This is Laman. It is a game. You can play it. I hope you're not too startled by the screaming. Maybe you're not startled by the crash. Laman is a Boyanui online game 3D. Alright, so,
The
and,
crash?
yep, 75B166D2, which I think is the same address for a third time in a row.
It's just because if you're using the debug DLO, then it's catching those and spitting out a garbage address.
Okay, we are going to level 6 now. Yay. And we have to grab the winch lever. Well, we don't have to grab it. There is one way that you can enter Takuro without getting it, by just using the Miru and flying on geometry that you are definitely not meant to step on. Which I can actually show you how that works. You have to literally like parkour over to there, go up that, and then you can actually enter it. And what you can also do, this Amana Volo sphere actually exists in the level at coordinate 0, 0, 0. Well, those are accessible, they're over there. So you can literally just pick it up without getting the quest. It's extremely funny.
Also, I like how when you pick up the winch lever, it's just it's Onua hand, but with only the middle finger.
Exactly.
Also,
I will say,
you
You
go.
can absolutely tell that the Saffrite devs, like, they knew what that was, and they were like, yeah, that's funny. So yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say that like that. There is a doorway over back behind where the winch lever is. We do have plans to put things there eventually. It's like I will say there are plans to kind of expand that back out that way, and do
Okay.
some overhauls to this level at some point.
I finally, like, actually did manage to do the thing to, beat the invasion without taking an obscene amount of time. So that's good. We have to get every single token in this area, because of course we do. Also, shoutouts to approximately these moments here. I will call it out when we're closer to it. Alright. No.
What?
What?
I'm sorry, what?
I turned off Vamiru and it just insta-kipped me.
I'm sorry, how?
I turned off Vamiru while I was above the thingy, and it just
I
insta-gipped
know,
me.
I'm like, game, how? I'm sorry, what?
So yeah, shoutouts to these moments here. First of all, we can jump on these walls. So the tokens don't contribute towards 100%. Having to get all tokens would make this an actual torture session, so no.
Yeah, no.
Like, you would have to do many slides numerous times over, and I don't think you can properly backtrack in some of them. But yeah, shoutouts to these moments here. It is at approximately this moment in the run last year when we realized that the VODs were gone.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I think we all just
Nobody else?
speedran the 5 stages of grief at that moment.
Yeah, and I remember you were having a hell of a time getting this area to work.
Yep.
Because this was kept crashing on you. Oh god. There we go!
Commentator scripts. Let me check release inform because it crashed to thingy. I don't have it. It doesn't give me debug.
Yeah, it's just a particle overload crash, because what happens is when you get out of bounds, the game has a weird way of handling out of bounds death, and it actually has an internal ID of hell. So it says we set up a debug for, well, I ended up setting up a way to kind of figure out what damages the player, what killed the player, and the debug for it just spits out hell damaged the player, player killed by hell.
That's extremely funny. How have I not heard that before? Be sure to save a line from the clip. God. The Remember Us line. Oh yeah, I'll do the animation in honor of Reese because I didn't do Reese kill.
You're not streaming to Discord, by the way.
I forgot. There we go. I am streaming. Thank you for pointing that out. I would have gone the entire rest of the run without doing that. Now it is imperative at this point that the game not crash. 77517D7A.
Wonderful.
These areas are extremely unstable, to put it mildly.
I think it was really... So at this point, it is extremely imperative that the game not crash until basically the end of the... No! Ash, please. If we haven't fixed this, get set nearest max to a higher value in this goddamn area.
I'm pretty sure it's fixed in the current version.
There we go. Okay, I managed to fix this by just backtracking through this.
I'm pretty sure I ended up setting it. I'm resetting it.
There's like 3 or 4 times this run that you've said something and then it immediately came true. So it's like, there is a bit here where the water oscillation can happen and then it immediately happens.
Yeah, that was actually funny because it was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna pause buffer exactly right so it doesn't happen. So I land on the dang shore, and the game was just like, you know what? Fuck you.
It's imperative right here that the game doesn't crash and then it immediately crashes.
And then I made the comment about it crashing, and then it crashed on it. Oh dear.
Yeah, so yeah, this game is definitely
this game is sentient.
Yeah.
It knows.
Commentator's curse. This is more like lawman curse. I mean, Liam literally wrote up an SCP document about this game.
This game can smell fear. It knows.
Also, this area is funny because I love how it's literally too hot for Tahu. If I turned off the mask of protection, it would literally just start damaging him. Please, 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 please. Okay, I did not reload. Alright, so now we just use the grapple glitch in order to gain tokens, which we desperately need.
I'm gonna be honest. I literally haven't even touched this area in so long. About the only thing that I did for this area was making some code tweaks to it for the following one. Which, the following one, this one I did quite a bit of extra refactoring in because this area was a complete train wreck in the script.
Oh yeah.
The funny thing is that you can tell that each level was written by, at least the script was written by different people. This level, no exception. Like Taku's level is no exception to that.
Yeah, Sapphire was extremely compartmentalized. Like, when we had Darvel Hunt, one of the original programmers of the game, on and showed him the levels, he said that for a lot of them, that was literally his first time seeing them. Because he was literally just in one area in Onua's level, just being given all the physics.
At one test level.
It wasn't even a test. I think it was the atrium, which made it into the game.
Yep.
Also, welcome to this area. This area is horrible and I hate it.
Me too.
There was an issue that
bad for
is...
compression.
This area is actually, well, so there was an issue with the arrows where if you died,
the arrows wouldn't respawn.
This is fixed in all the current builds.
Thankfully. But I remember when this wasn't fixed, and I literally just made this route, and I've been using it for the past almost 5 years. It's really been that long, God.
Why do I remember you saying that last year?
Because I did.
Oh.
Shout out to music overlap happening.
Oh yeah. I cannot fix that. That would require restarting the game, which goes against this glitch. I call it the Miru Nuva glitch because the Miru Nuva is an upgraded version of the Miru, and this basically upgrades your Miru. So basically, when you enter the area where you get the How with all the air vents, the game sets some flags which upgrade your Miru, and it doesn't properly clean them up, which means that this happens. This is the secret printing element. I have no idea why it has description text. That's probably fixed.
Oh. So do you have to find that
think
to be able to print the secret, like, promo images or whatever?
So there are, like, there is code for the game to interface with printers. And so, yes, there were, like, printing things in there, and there are things that you can print, including instructions. But the secret printing element isn't really hooked up to anything.
So maybe that was the idea, that, like, you find that secret and you unlock the gallery and you can print stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was the intent they had.
Yeah.
Which we've been wanting to kind of expand on that original idea.
Yeah.
But
I remember I made, like...
so that we can hook it up to our printers and print out stuff?
I mean, we could use, like... Hooking things up to printers might be a bit more difficult, but, like... There's a reason why you can't name a file con in Windows. And the same reason can be used for this. Animation incoming.
The classic.
Yep. The greatest showman on Maranui. And well, line is to be said, I don't want this marathon to be forgotten.
Oh, because it's the only clip that exists, I remember, yeah.
Yes. So now we enter this area here. This is another sliding level, but it's a bit more interesting. There is a small glitch here that I can use. It's I call it a hidden mechanic, where if you activate the Miru, it resets your sliding speed. And I use it specifically for this extremely narrow bridge, so that I can like set myself up properly. Now we have this, and well, now we have enough, so I can just send this down. And there we go. And now we are in the...
I'm not going to comment on the maze area because you know what's going to happen if I comment about it.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
at that point...
No comment.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, the game can freely die. It just can't here. We have to keep it alive. Keep the dream alive. Oh yeah, the stalactites here are dumb, so I'm skipping them. You're supposed to shoot those down, and then they stay down for like an incredibly short amount of time before they actually start sinking, so instead we do this. There we go, we have Vavahi. Vavahi is set to slow down time, it can actually also speed up time. Oh yo, he paused floating, yep. Indeed, he paused floating.
There's actually a secret bit that you kept. Oh, of last year's VOD.
Yeah, we did.
Interesting.
Up. Yep.
This area does actually have a checkpoint system that was kind of broken. So we're probably going to be trying to actually fully... Like there's code for it, it's just not properly set up.
I mean,
So
it
we're probably
does
gonna
kind of
eventually fix it.
work. As we can see. We move on to this area. So, nothing shall be said. What?
Okay, I won't say anything.
Nah, go ask questions. Really.
No, it wasn't about the game. I was gonna ask. A while back, Footloose said something about Bionicle Bounty. I'm not familiar.
It has happened!
Oh, it did.
So this is something weird. It has like to do with models, with the models of the bugs,
for some
and
reason.
yeah. Turning on stream again. Gonna have to undo 2 splits and load game. I like Tahu's little sword twirl when he jumps. Yeah, it's again adds a lot of personality. But yeah, this can cause the game to randomly freeze, and for whatever reason, it seems to like only happen to me a lot of the time.
There's a lot of the animations in this game have given us some good inspiration for beam up.
Yeah, what we wanted to say, yeah, Bionicle Bounty is a site that I think it was originally planned out as a joke, but then we were like, yeah, let's actually make this, and so we did. Basically, we have bounties set up for a few games, I think for Heroes, for Lawman, and for BTG, where originally it was part of a meme, which many people won't understand, but it's basically goes, put the source code in the bag, was planned as a... We were kind of saying that as a joke, like, haha, we're gonna email TT Games with a picture of us and like put the source code in the bag and no one gets hurt. Something like that.
So if I
Yeah.
hold the legacy source code hostage and bully you guys into setting up one for legacy,
Nah.
and then I just input the source code, give you everything, then I get free money.
Nah, that's
That'd
not
be
how it
great.
works. But basically and then we were like, yeah, maybe if people are actually incentivized with money, maybe then we will have some more success. And so we did that. And so we set up, okay, source code is 100% of a bounty pool. We added some more for like different amounts and different things. Hold on, please. Or things like, yeah, design documents, different build, especially for like heroes and BTG, because there. Oh, I forgot to go into talk to Jala. There. Arby's gift card, fucking dying. That's anyway, thing I wanted to say. Yeah, so things like for source code, for early builds, for design documents, for those we have like bounties set up. So, and we have like a submission system where it's like, yeah, you have to submit like things like a photo of the disk with the date, or like an MD5 hash of the ISO, so we can verify that it's legitimate, like if you're submitting source code. And we do that. We have that like planned, but for now we didn't receive anything yet, and not for lack of checking. But yeah, we were just hoping that at some point the promise of money will get someone to just get out of their woodshed, or just check their hard drives, then get out of their woodshed and give us the code. So what were you saying?
I was gonna say shout out to Slovo Dance Kapura.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so I was gonna say,
we're overestimates, frick.
I mean, it would be cool if somebody could host the legacy source code somewhere, because I don't have that capability. But, you know.
Oh yeah, also Vivahi can be used here. So Vivahi, if you pause while it's being used, it speeds up time instead of slowing it down.
Really?
Oh,
Interesting.
damn, I am dumb. I might just reset this fight. I was actually like checking the assembly code and found the most efficient way to kill the dragon, and it's to wait on this damage and instead shoot it like once later. But I did it wrongly, so yeah, now we have to wait here. Mail client is 403. I think the certificate expired or something. Yeah, with the Vahi making things go faster, it actually also makes your consumption of energy go faster too. Ignore same stupid issue if every time, lol, I'm dumb. God, I'm sorry that I can't really show off much of anything. I hope that I still can, even if it's going to be going slightly overestimate. I don't know what Footloose thinks about that. This isn't even going to sub 130, damn. Bionicle Bounty doesn't work unless we get it out there, and progress on that is slow. True. It's just takes a while. Oh god.
But yeah, whenever you have like the ability to host like the source code of stuff, I'll just hit me up. You know?
Yeah,
I'll be willing to send
we
over
don't
links
even
to-
have like hosting for our things. We literally just have in our submission guidelines we tell them to like upload it to a file sharing website of your choice.
Mhm.
Also,
It
yeah,
just-
this boss was done
suddenly
in the
Vakama.
beta. Also, yeah. And this, oh my god, another one of the same addresses. Like, okay. Just mail John Burton a bag with a return label. I mean, I don't know how well that would be. Also, yeah, this is like a kind of a compilation of different glitches, you could say. So here we have grapple. Here we have broken geometry. If I can
No,
actually...
you can't grapple in the water here, it crashes. At least the one that we played a while back.
I could probably set up a Git
then-
lab for the Bionicle project. Nolpo, I might take you up on that offer.
It's really a matter of storage space, though, I think.
It's supposed to be donated to
you have enough
BMP,
space.
but we didn't consider 60 gigs worth of stuff. No! Set nearest max! Okay, I will show off platform velocity if I'm allowed to show things off, even though I'm kind of going over estimate. I will show that off. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so this is how easily you can beat the levels if you just break them apart, because this was very clearly just not like I firmly believe that these are all placeholder levels. We are coming up on time. Time is when I enter that the exit over here. So get yourself ready for that. Time. And we can see that we have all of the TOA on the front end screen, which is why I deleted my unlocks OSD before I did this. Also, you saw that the health and energy bar was clipping into the top of the screen. This is because the function to add things goes haywire. Yeah, so I also had a suggestion for the team to just, when you have 100%, to make the masks golden. And it will eventually be a thing, but it's a bit for the future. I'm going to show a few things off in the meantime. So I wanted to show off the misplaced trigger here and platform velocity. I hope that I may. So go ahead and show what you want to show. Tutai isn't present yet. All right. So we go to this level here, and we take the visual debugger with trigger planes, and it's almost visible. It's BTG next. Lol. So yeah. Ash, here you can see just how misplaced this trigger is. It's just a little bit too large. So yeah, just pulling it down.
It's not so bad.
That's an easy fix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so here we go. Yeah. Then another thing that I'm gonna show off is platform velocity, which I'm gonna use a different build for, which actually like does this properly, because for whatever reason, set nearest max got borked in some build of the game. This is gonna be much louder, simply because this is a different build. So I am preemptively sorry. here.
That you could actually shoot those to have those like
Same.
things up.
That was very, very long. That it also took me. It was quite dumb. But yeah. Aside from that, was there anything that I wanted to show?
Not off the top of my head.
I think that was it.
All right. God.
Hey, good job on the run.
Thank you. I mean, it was like 10 minutes over my PB, but I guess we went and did it, which that's good. It's technically even like valid, which is also a thing. But yeah, there's definitely much more. Yeah.
You go to sleep.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna.